Enjoy your stay.
Wait.
You're silly.
Aw, you didn't use Shenzi's intro.
I will allow Shenzi to read it off. Hello everyone and welcome to the stream. I am Raw Zim, and this evening we have a delectable game of Furry Dungeons and Dragons. I do hope you all enjoy what I have planned for our wayward adventurers. Unfortunately, the person who is up for recap is a little traumatized by a mostly inanimate object. So...
It talked to me!
You're still on about the tree? Some trees talk, okay?
It hit me in the face, and then it talked.
Your husband is a talking wolf.
Honestly,
He does
I'm
kind of
not
have a point
surprised.
there.
Oh no, Shenzi.
It's a tree.
I talked to one of the trees before you even met that tree. They talk. We have talking trees. Please adjust your reality.
You do realize who you're talking to, right?
Yes, I do.
I don't
Adjust
think
your
adjusting,
reality.
reality.
Adjust your reality that trees can be friends too.
Mm-mm.
Oh my.
But you're all about making new friends. So trees are just another friend to make.
Trees exist only to be peed on. They get marked, and that is my territory now.
Trees should not just appear out of nowhere. They should not hit you in the face, and they shouldn't talk.
But if they can't talk, how will they hold the ends moot?
The tree did not hit you in the face.
I am curious
You
when this
weren't there,
happened.
Tato!
Actually, it did when she was running.
What? Did
Oh
you run
yeah,
into the
she ran into it.
No, the tree hit her while she was just innocently running along looking for a new friend.
At least somebody understands.
Honestly, if Zale weren't in trouble with them, he'd be looking for a law official to reprimand and or ticket Sentry, but
Tato face bombs.
Tato,
Okay.
give me a Constitution saving throw, please.
Oh, come on, for a face palm?
Is he gonna facepalm himself too hard?
Yes.
this is Tato we're talking
Potentially.
about. I mean, come on, Blueberry.
720, I'm fine.
Okay. You do it so hard, but you're fine. Anyways, Zale is broken. He has lived over and over and over again in service to the Raven Queen. Last time, he was forced to live through all of those former servitudes. Those former lives where he passed away in many glorious and not so glorious manners. And now, the group has come to the Raven Queen at last. In her hand is a small cage, in which are 7 eyes, all staring at you with vivid red gazes. The Raven Queen sits upon her throne, staring down at your small party. The goddess towers over you, a cloud of ravens fluttering behind her seat, a pervasive darkness consuming the air around her, with an aura of callous indifference. The queen looked down. What?
Sorry, I was going to say, I like that.
Oh.
Plus indifference.
Her gaze seemed to pierce through you, not actually looking at your forms, but perhaps something inside. A frown is on her face as she speaks. Well, service of Orcus, what do you offer me in return for Zale? Her gaze settles directly on Shenzi, a sense of being naked before her sight going through your mind. The golden cage of eyes drifts slowly up and down on its chain held in her hand.
Well, then I guess it's a good thing that I am Shenzi, so I do not care. We have killed a lich already and are willing to continue killing more for you because we know how much you don't like liches and we will do it in return for Zale.
I dislike all undead. Would you be relinquishing your necromantic abilities?
I knew that question was going to come up.
These abilities are what helps me kill the liches.
And yet it is also what brings the liches to life. Or rather, undeath.
I don't raise liches. I don't like liches. They are not nice people.
Yeah, you got to go through a lot of crap to raise a lich anyway.
And technically, you don't raise a lich; they are self-made.
Yeah.
But the power is the same.
You came here with one. You spoke to one.
See, I knew she was able to see that. Told you.
Well, I didn't bring it here, and I couldn't kill it in the face of its own deity.
You believe Orcus to be a god? You are a servant to him, aren't you?
No, I actually never heard of him until we were here and he showed up.
We are ignorant.
So you claim, and yet you consider him a deity. A divine being. That evil, cast-out creature.
Well, I thought that was the only way that people could get into your realm unless you brought them here, and I knew you weren't going to bring him here.
Of course you knew I wouldn't bring your deity here, because you knew that he was my foe.
He's not my deity, and I'm sorry I called him when I didn't know that he's not. I thought that was the only way he could get in here.
Her eyes flare, a sense of almost madness behind them, but she does not speak.
Give me just a sec, I have an idea.
Zale would like to take the opportunity of this pause to cry and whimper on the ground some more.
Where is Anir? I'm surprised I'm not being spammed with attempts with ethereal influence to attempt to, fix you. We need to find Anir.
But I
I
like
see
having
only
him
one
broken
cat
like
in
this.
the Avatar stream, so he must not be here.
This is like the only time Zale will ever be humbled. By living through all of his deaths.
All over again.
They say that death is the great equalizer, and when you've had 7 dosings...
Turlix, check Discord. Shenzi is going to take a breath and step forward and tell her again, we will continue to kill liches to get Zale.
Elysian's head would turn, scanning the room.
The room is a large... it is a large throne room. It is stark, cold. There are no sources of light that you can see immediately visible.
Though my battle cry may
I
give me
think
away.
There we go. Oh, that was.
Thanks, Weasels!
Buizel, send me that link on Discord, please.
Yay, Weasel. Also, for those of you who did not notice, we are starting a therapy fund for Zale. The goal is $9, and he will hopefully be cured of the trauma of reliving all of his deaths.
Query. Is there any room in that fund for curing the psychiatrists of their trauma of curing Zale?
No.
We only care about Zale.
Yeah, pretty much.
Aww.
Can we just leave Zale like this, though?
No.
He's more fun. Look at him, all squirming and twitching.
I'd like to remind you how many villain origin stories are like this. Left behind in the utter pits of despair by their supposed allies. He's
Yeah,
gonna
but
view
we're not
first,
going
you know
to
that,
leave
right?
you here.
Oh no, perhaps he'll go for the near family first. Start with the grandfather, perhaps. Sorry, Elysium.
Hey! Start with the grandson.
Oh, come on, Zale. We wouldn't leave you here.
The room?
Roll a persuasion check. I don't believe you.
What if we're telling you the truth?
Don't you have disadvantage on persuasion?
I think so. Hold on.
Right, was it the disadvantage or you lost proficiency, which you didn't have to begin with?
I don't remember.
Teach my hamster to suck eggs.
Yeah, I don't either. I think I just lost proficiency, gained proficiency, but it could
Sounds
have
right. Go ahead
given
and
me
roll.
disadvantage.
I mean, not that it will affect anything. when-
Anyways,
come to us.
5. You don't believe me. I don't care.
the chamber has no other exits aside from the hallway that you came in from. There is a ambient light coming from nowhere. It is a pale bluish color. Everything is just cold. The entire chamber is built out of ice.
And there's no defining features. This is just a throne room of sorts.
Correct.
Okay.
It's built like one, though it is definitely lacking the typical decorations of a throne room. And to you, Shenzi, Zale has served me very well throughout the years, throughout his various lifetimes. I do not believe that what you can accomplish in a single one could even match one of his lives spent in servitude.
With all of his multiple lives, one could say you yourself have been raising undead instead of letting them rest.
Oh, you pointed out the hypocrisy.
Let him finish this life out with his only real friends. And in return, we will kill for you. We will kill every lich we find, every lich we hear about. I will make it my life's mission. But don't make him do this again.
Don't make him live again?
Don't make him suffer again.
I'm afraid that his current life is at an end.
What do you mean? He's fine. He's right there.
Look at
Question.
him, though.
Have you heard a single swami comment from him this entire session? Can you really call that life? Can you, Tato?
It'll be fine. Walk it off.
Um,
That was a joke.
Elysian is going to dip behind Tato using his shorter statue and try and sneak his way out to the throne room.
And where are you going?
I got thirsty.
She stares directly at you, Elysian.
It's
And
been
you feel
nothing.
a shudder go over you. As if something just passed over your grave.
He just turn around and stay there. Still slightly behind Tato, though.
I'm really forgetful. What's the name of the not deity that we are not supposed to call a deity because he's not a
Orcus.
deity?
Orcus.
Greaves.
It's Greaves.
Oh God.
What if I make it my mission to destroy Orcus?
Now that is an intriguing proposition. And yet,
that sounds like a hunt for me.
how would you kill him and
And it would-
guarantee that you would not take his place?
Why would
fulfill my
anybody
good
want
deed.
to? Why would anybody want to take his place?
A steadfast supporter.
Thank you very much for that follow, Knight. Power is a very corruptive force.
If I was weak to that, don't you think I would have taken the phylactery instead of destroying it when faced with the Lich? I don't care about power. I don't want power. I just want my friends. And I am tired of seeing Zale suffer.
As I said, this life is at an end. It is difficult to come back from the visions that he saw. While all of you saw his individual deaths, he relived every moment of every life.
Tato checks Zale's pulse.
It is still beating.
Probably quite a bit faster than it should be. Yeah, you felt hummingbirds who have a slower heartbeat than this.
You didn't say it was impossible, though.
Don't you mean impulsible?
No, we don't.
Then maybe give him just one more so that we can kill Orcus. And if we do that, will you free him for the remainder of that life and not cut it short?
I am not doing this. He is trapped within his own mind. He will slowly wither away and die. Then he will rise again and serve again. He will die again and serve again. it is his fate.
I can't keep watching him suffer like this, especially knowing what he's been through until now. He is my friend, and I just want him to be free and have a good life.
You want him to be free, and yet you offer a pitiful sum for his valuable service.
With the kind of distaste you obviously feel for Orcus.
And his servants.
Then it's a good thing I don't serve Orcus.
All who bring undeath serve him and his purpose.
I don't serve anyone. I just happen to be really good at this. And it's helped me make friends like Zale.
And where do you believe your skill came from?
The books I read in my parents' library that they tried to hide from me.
You were marked from birth.
And then you can take these powers away from me when we've killed Orcus, if it means getting Zale.
No, I do not believe I will be parting with Zale for those offerings.
Why do you think to get rid of Orcus forever?
What will it take? Tato will even speak up now. Okay, what will it take? Let's get straight to it.
I think I know what it'll take.
Her powers will need to be relinquished now. And her servitude will need to come to me.
So, you want to replace Zale with her?
I may even allow her to keep her powers.
Well, I won't look that gift horse in the mouth. Okay, up to you, Shenzi.
Deal.
That was quick.
Well, yep.
I think this should be thought out a little bit more.
I mean, making a deal with a god is kind of a hefty thing. You should really consider it.
I'm all for saving Zale,
She
but
said now.
Zale has suffered through multiple lives. It would only be fair for me to take his suffering for a few more.
You never worked out how many.
Few more?
You never worked out how many. You should probably get something in fine line print.
You will live over and over and over.
At least I can make a lot of friends.
But-
Recall something, Shenzi, if you would. Did you ever see anybody else with Zale in any of those flashbacks that was not an enemy?
Well, I mean, you're kind of an asshole, so I don't expect to see anybody.
Yeah, yes, I did.
Phone call.
I did.
Who, I wonder?
You saw Rook, who is debatable on whether
An
he's an enemy
enemy.
or not.
Of my spirit, if not my actual.
Oh, are you talking about the one guy that kept hunting you through your memories I was trying to bring up for the past few minutes as, hey, we'll sweeten the deal by killing him too. And, like, actually killing him if you tell us how to. I don't remember what his name was. And I can barely remember what his defining symbol was. Pretty sure it was a upside down mace thing.
That would be Orcus, and it's a mace
Oh.
with a human skull. Made from a human skull.
Wait, Orcus was the one that killed you?
No, a follower of Orcus.
Yeah, I was going to say, like, that one follower of Orcus. That we should also kill because seems to be Zale's mortal enemy. And very annoying to the Raven, I believe.
Kill bad people, but I've also just realized that if I take this, then Zale no longer has his powers, does he?
I'm not going to answer that. But there will be repercussions from you taking this.
I tell you, making deals with the gods is kind of a one-sided fist fight. Yeah.
Says the person who serves a god.
Yeah, I know. I didn't make a clear-cut deal with selling my soul to him, but I worship him. There's a difference. There's choice in one.
Let me put it this way. The only reason he has lived all those lives is because he serves her. Right now, he is doomed to just die.
If we do this, will you give him one more life with us, or are you going to make us leave here without him?
You'll be leaving here without him, either way.
Well, too bad we're only level 5, because this is about the time where I'd say let's kill the bitch. So, if anybody has a better idea, your character should probably speak up, because I don't know what to do now.
Well,
And
let's
why
review our
can't he
options.
leave with us?
I suppose you are more than welcome to carry his corpse with you.
Technically, this person did say he was dead after all the vision stuff. So, I mean, although, does he technically have a pulse right now still?
He has a pulse, he's just losing his mind until his body withers away.
Of all times for me not to carry that spell. Okay.
You're a priest, can't you, like, pray for him to get better? I mean, cleric.
The powers of a cleric are very limited, especially in an area when the god they serve has no power.
Yeah, you're pretty much asking a battery near E to
Had someone at the door.
power up freaking.
All right, fill me in, please, because I had to go.
We're just debating what to do, because Azeroth can't cure him, because Azeroth basically has no powers, and he's losing his mind until he withers away into nothing. So if I take this deal, we leave without Zale. If I don't take this deal, we leave without Zale.
This isn't a very fair deal, I just realized.
Yeah. And I don't have much of anything to help him. At least nothing to help his mental state. I mean, knocking him unconscious is always the right thing to do at these times, but does anyone have a sleep spell?
Well,
Although
I
I
will
actually
remind
kind of-
everyone that there was another offer and a threat. So more than one party is still involved in this.
Although I don't actually get something, now that I think about it. Why
Shoot.
did the Raven Queen bring us here too?
That's a really good question. Maybe you should ask her.
Elysian would look at the Raven Queen. If you're intending on just keeping him, why did you involve us? Because either way, either deal, you keep him. His spirit either goes to you, or he dies and goes to you. Which is not at all what we're here to deal with.
She leans back and just chuckles softly. That flame of madness flaring in her eyes again. I enjoy watching you mortals suffer.
Somebody pour some water on that bitch.
Oh, that's so kind of you.
Meh.
So Zim, do you think I can pray to Lady Kep that she shows up?
That's if she's a
My
deity.
Wednesday GM would say, make a prayer roll.
Huh.
For the record, that's always a bad idea. I've had it happen once, and I had a wedding because of it. And every time we've had a wedding in that game, we've leveled up, so it's kind of been fun.
Oh my goodness.
I'd really like to try praying to Lady Kep. if that's a possibility, if that's a thing, will she show up? I don't know. Would it be a religion? I don't know what to do.
Well, first off, probably not a good idea to try and summon her in front of, the Raven Queen.
I like one-hit KOs as much as the next guy, but usually I'm the one delivering them, not seeing it happen to people around me that I know.
Secondly,
I'm having some
you're
faith
not
in the
sure.
dice here.
Secondly, you're not sure if she is a deity or not.
Okay, but can I try praying to her and begging her to come pluck us from this situation so that we can steal the contract for her?
Give me a religion roll in the tower.
Huh.
And I will combine it with your roleplay. I said in the tower.
What do you mean in the tower?
The tower in the bottom right where only I'll see the result.
Mm-hmm.
The what?
There's a little tower with a dragon in the bottom right.
Yeah, it's called the dice tower.
Oh, you can actually roll on that?
Yeah,
Yes.
and then only the DM sees the result. Alright, let's see how you roleplay.
Unless Enrir's game-breaking influence does something first.
Before I roleplay, I need like 2 seconds to put a diaper on my kid.
Diaper
All
check.
right.
Oh man.
Anir, we'll see
Okay.
what comes of this, and we'll see what comes of this before I accept or refund that.
Okay, diaper check. Roll for initiative.
The fastest way to start a fight. Roll for initiative. God, I got bad initiative.
Yeah,
Everybody
yes,
do
sucker
give
punch.
me a perception check.
I abstain.
I don't
Yeah, everybody
think
except for
can't
Zale.
I'm blind.
Perception. Seeing as I have a very keen nose, I perceive many things. But where to find the fucking perception roll?
Elysian's just rubbing his eyes, going, I'm blind, I can't see anything.
Okay.
Oh snap!
Elysian,
Teach my hamster to suck eggs.
you are particularly obsessed with a shard of what you can only assume to be a diamond. Something very valuable. It's just laying on the ground next to you, seemingly discarded.
Yeah, no, that makes sense.
Who knew? a
What are you
critical fail
guys
could be a
rolling
critical
for?
win? Perception.
For what?
I don't know. We just kind of were told to roll it.
Am
Shenzi,
I
go
rolling
ahead and
perception
roll.
too?
Yes.
Azeroth, as the healer of the group, you'd of course definitely be a little more concerned over Zale's actual medical condition. His fur has visibly paled. He is
Cut out for a
looking...
portion of that.
What?
You cut out for a portion of that.
He didn't cut out for me. I heard everything.
Oh.
And then it's me. Never mind.
He is visibly paler. His fur much whiter than it was. He looks shriveled and old.
Wow. Hey guys. This is kind of beyond PTSD, if I may say so. I think he's aging rapidly.
Anir, I'm gonna turn that influence into, we'll say 2 points of lucky for communal pot.
I mean, Zale has a point of luck, but...
Well, this is for anyone to use. There are 2 points available that will allow you to re-roll a roll.
Oh, man. Well, yeah, back to that. Guys, I do think we should probably look over. I think someone is really, really aging on us super fast.
Bye, Zale.
I don't have anything that could help with that.
Yeah, me neither. Even I don't think curing him would do much good.
Hey, we need somebody more powerful to even begin to help, and we need to find them.
Can anyone knock him unconscious? I think he's
Shenzi.
really...
Yes.
I'm ready for your prayer.
With all the bickering going on.
A
Shenzi.
resplendent offering.
Okay.
Bueezles!
Thank you, Weasels.
Thank you so much for that incredible donation.
Oh, I was going to do that later.
I mean, you still can.
I'll do it later. Or tomorrow.
So, since his therapy bill is paid in full, is he, like, magically okay now?
You don't know. It may
don't
be
know.
paid in full, but that doesn't mean it'll work. But I will definitely add to the power of your prayer with that.
Yes. Okay. So, with all of the ruckus going on, Shenzi bows her head and she closes her eyes. And she thinks really, really hard.
Oh, God.
And then almost
That's what
as
can
if...
I do for you, Azeroth?
Gosh.
Sorry, Shenzi, go ahead.
Almost as if a moment of clarity washes over her, Shenzi speaks in her mind where she envisions Lady Kep. And she says, Lady Kep, we want to steal you the contract. We've gone too far. Zale is dying. We need you. Let us get you this contract. And Shenzi just kind of repeats it once or twice with a little more gusto in her mind, obviously, each time.
You don't get a response for a long while.
A long while. Like, what does that mean?
It feels like it takes a very long time for a response.
Okay.
Think
Until-
You call his lag.
Until you feel a warm breeze. You smell the scent of flowers And just even though you don't see it, it feels like the sun is shining warmly on your fur.
Shenzi can't help but smile. Even though her head's bowed, so she's not sure if anybody notices, but she can't help but smile.
You get a small response. Help comes. Everyone, give me an acrobatics check.
I abstain.
Yeah, Zale, you're unresponsive. The Raven Queen shakes her head and waves a hand. Zale's body disappearing.
Tell Tatum I hated him.
Lol.
It's okay, it was mutual.
I hardly knew ye.
Follow me on Twitter.
No, please. That has a bird icon. A little bit of associative PTSD there.
Delete my browser history.
Oh god. Use BIOS. It's faster.
The Raven Queen sighs and leans forward, her gaze locked on Shenzi. She opens her mouth to speak when a brilliant sunlight smashes through the ceiling. As it does, the entire fortress shakes violently. All of you, except for Shenzi and Tato, are thrown to the floor in this violent shaking.
Shenzi starts giggling maniacally.
Oh.
Oh man.
Where are
The
those flaming
lich
red
from...
eyes? Sorry.
What?
Where were those flaming red eyes that were that belonged to the Raven Queen?
I was gonna get to those.
Oh, okay.
Also, they are... You can tell that they are Zale's eyes from the visions.
That was the Raven Queen all along. Go ahead.
During the
Their eyes
shaking...
floating in a cage.
During the shaking, the cage is flung from the Raven Queen's hand, scattering across the floor. The lich you had encountered before, and a small force of skeletons, appears in the chamber room with you. It looks around, seemingly confused for a moment, before the Raven Queen lets out a screech. And
Tato dash to collect the eyes that are scattered, since I still have my balance.
it's just the cage. They're all inside it, but yes, you may. Give me an acrobatics check as the palace is still shaking. You skitter across the floor, slipping on some of the ice and falling.
Ah,
That's okay.
The cage disappears from view as the Raven Queen stands up, easily 20 or 30 feet tall. And with a small wave of her hand, most of the skeletons are simply vaporized. The Lich looks at the Raven Queen and... Oh yeah, don't forget the luck points. But...
If the Lich had bowels, it would probably be shitting itself.
Probably. It shouts, well, kind of shouts to you. About the best that a Lich can do without, all of its vocal cords and such actually still there.
I do not know what happened, but go. I will occupy her as long as I can.
Almost. Almost. I begin to kind of like this Lich. But not really.
Okay, but Zale's disappearing, so is there a Zale to bring with us?
only the eyeballs, but they're out of
Zale
our
already
reach now.
disappeared. The eyeballs have also disappeared.
I can't go without Zale. Wait, unless Lady Kep took Zale.
You don't know?
Either way, you can't really stay here, or else you'll be good as dead, and you won't be able to save Zale.
Yeah, I'm in agreement with Azeroth.
Use the lily.
You live to
The
fight another
lily can
day.
only be used outside.
Huh?
Well, we're gonna have to run out to go get the lily, is what I figured they were getting.
Run!
And we still don't have his contract.
Alright. Tato tries
I look up at the Raven Queen, still laughing, and I say, "You lose your mind because Orcus isn't a deity, but you forget that neither are you." And I run. A run for the lily!
Azeroth, your
Elysian.
typing's coming through.
Sorry. Alright.
Elysian would quickly follow after her, not wanting to stay around the pissed off god of death.
As you run for the entrance, the Lich brings down the wall above it, cutting off your return back to the throne room, and basically, hopefully, keeping the Raven Queen from following you. Or at least he hopes so.
So now that we're out of there, do we run like madmen to find the contract and steal it for Lady Kep, or do we just go to Lady Kep?
Let's grab the contract.
I like
vote
that
for grabbing
idea.
the
I thought the
contract.
contract were literally the eyeballs.
We had no confirmation.
Do we even know what the contract actually is?
Zale,
That's
this
something
would be
we should
your
know.
cue.
He can't tell
Any
us.
preference?
Nope, up to you.
Okay, stop me if I'm doing it wrong, but we'll pull out the handsome Zale that some of you might recall from the ship scene. Salt-stained, silks and leathers, sword swinging at his hip, appears in a crossing corridor ahead of you as you begin running. Hopefully you begin running, I would hope, because, shaking of things. Beckoning down one particular turn before vanishing once more.
Elysian would waste no time in pivoting right to there.
The palace continues to shake. Sunlight slowly melting through the ceilings. Some spots it hits hard enough that it just shatters right through as you're running along. You come to another intersection.
What happened?
Chat.
Mm-hmm. He's like sexy Flanders, but handsome.
What?
You're like sexy Flanders, but handsome.
I don't have a mustache. We're talking about a different Flanders.
We're talking about Colonel Flanders, the lesser-known brother of Colonel Sanders.
Oh my goodness.
Bad.
He does like fish, which would be appropriate to what I remember of him. So yes, okay.
Hope you're a
Is
fish
Zale
in your
going
next
guide
life.
us again, or are we on our own this time?
Well, assuming you keep running and reach into the crossing corridor. Yes.
I did say they did.
Oh, my apologies.
Make sure you check
Distractions
the.
occurred.
Make sure you check your PM.
He was busy
As-
defending how handsome Zale is.
To be fair, I'm talking out of my ass for that. But as you approach the next intersection, the old Zale appears, the one from the bed. He is still mostly blind, though perhaps not quite so far along as when you saw him. And he leans heavily upon a cane. He turns to Shenzi. To find the vault, you must call upon your own memories. The strongest you have. A salt that the Raven Queen would wish to add to her collection. You have seen ours. You know what she likes. Concentrate, and within that memory place the doorway to the vault where she keeps her treasures.
I grab Elysian's hand.
He grip hers tightly, looking at her.
Nim looks up as well at her.
I put my other hand on Nim's head. What's the rest of the party doing? Did you guys follow us? Did you go straight for the lily?
Last I knew, I was flat on my ass.
Shenzi, you
I
have the
thought
lily.
we all left. Okay, I do have the lily. Okay.
Tato,
You need to be
would-
outside the palace to use it.
Yeah, you have to be outside the palace to use it. Tato, you were able to recover, and you would have followed
good.
with them, I assume.
Okay,
Yeah, I thought
yes,
we all
would.
left before the lich brought everything down.
Yeah.
Definitely out of that B word.
Okay. Shenzi shakily breathes and thinks back. She thinks back to the memory that made her the moment everything changed. The moment she lost everything. And she sighs before vividly imagining that night. She and her best friend and her best friend's sister were playing in the river, playing near the river. We were told not to. And her sister fell in. And we tried to get her. We tried so hard to get her, and we couldn't get her out. And my best friend was just so distraught over losing her sister. I did what I thought any best friend would have done. I was just a child. I remembered the books that my parents hid from me. I remember reading through those books. And I'd only practiced on small things before. Never another person. But I had to do it for my best friend. I couldn't let her suffer without her sister. So when everybody had gone to bed, huh?
Oh, sorry, one sec. As Shenzi is speaking, the memory begins to form in the corridor around you. The scenes playing out in front of you as she speaks.
I request this to be in children's storybook form.
No.
As the scene materializes, the Zale begins to fade, but he smiles at Shenzi. We know what you are trying to do. We will help as we can.
I waited till everybody had gone to bed. They were waiting before the funeral. She was in her own room where people went to pay respects during the day. But at night, nobody was there. And my best friend, she lived next to me. And I heard her up crying all night. And I just couldn't let her do this anymore. So I went to where they kept her sister. It was so hard seeing somebody that I grew up with. She was no older than 6. She was a baby. Seeing her blue and purple like that, I couldn't let it happen. So I pulled back on my memories of the books. And I was in the middle of trying to bring her back when my best friend walked in. She didn't understand what I was doing. She screamed at me. And she told everybody that I was a monster. And that I was hurting her sister even though she was already gone. And nobody believed that I just wanted to bring her back. And the older people in town, they didn't understand. They said that I was a monster for even thinking of using such magic. But I just wanted to help my friend. And they went to my parents' house. And they threatened to burn it if my parents didn't disown me. And they cared more about their own studies than me. I had to leave. I had to run. I had to leave my best friend. I had to leave my family. Just because I wanted to help. Just because I was good with this kind of magic. I lost everything.
The memory plays out in bits and pieces in front of you all.
Dark.
Okay, is there a door that stands out?
Give me... where would you place it?
Probably as everybody is running to my parents' house, where I ran to, one of the doors, one of the rooms that I went into to try and escape the people, would probably be that door.
Then a door of ice would form there. The pain strong, but you are able to push through to control this memory. This fortress holds power with memories, and you are able to control and manipulate it a bit using it. Yes, Demouser, that was an incredible job, Shenzi.
I actually teared up going through that because I went way too deep into character.
There is never too deep.
The sniffling was legit. I didn't. Oh my god.
We give you the Emmy. Oh,
Elysian would tug Shenzi to the door, currently being eerily silent.
Yeah, I would go towards the door. I would be the first one to grab that door.
The icy door opens.
None shall see me, though my battle cry may give me away.
And you find an oddly chipper dwarf trying to sneak through the door with you.
What?
That's what I'm hearing.
That was Minsk.
huh?
But we're in this world. I say he's a dwarf.
Yeah,
I'm going off the vocals here.
yeah, he does sound like a dwarf.
He's a human that has been hit upside the head a few too many times, and believes that he found the world's only miniature giant space hamster.
Dwarf. It's a very definition right there.
I like this door idea when it's up.
Shenzi, as you walk through the doorway, an ethereal Oscar award appears in your hand.
Oh my god.
That is from Bueasels.
Thank you, Weasels.
Mm-mm.
I just want to thank Zim for everything he has done. He is a great god.
Anyways.
Can I have an ethereal long cane to pull her off the stage with?
Nobody needs to use influence for that, yes. You can have one. Anyways. The door opens into a large chamber. In the center of it is a small platform with a door on the far side. Treasures of all shapes and sizes line the walls. They are behind mystical barriers, slightly visible in the dimmer light. As you walk through, the shaking of the palace ceases, and an eerie stillness presses down on you. That was Bueasels, not... Oh, yeah. Anyways, what do you do?
Okay, I'm sorry. Did you... I caught the last part of that.
We're in a treasure room, and the treasure is all blocked by barriers.
So technically, we're rich beyond our mildest dreams. If only we can get out.
Oh, sort of like Aladdin. Everybody look for a lamp.
I'm actually looking around, hoping a random Zale pops up and tells us what to do.
It's sales clues, everybody.
Drying the tears from my eyes.
One does not show up this time.
I punch the barrier.
And
guessing
that's why
an
I
attack
love
roll followed
Tato.
by a Constitution save.
If you're really certain about this, yes.
That's a
make an
thinly
attack roll.
veiled threat, so I'm not doing it now.
To be fair, that was I, the player, who assumed this. It could be perfectly safe.
When a DM asks if you're sure,
That said, I, as a DM, often ask that question when it is the right action to do.
fine, I punch the barrier.
Of course, that being said, it's also a terrible idea, and you shouldn't.
You tell him this now, of course.
Punch the barrier.
Oh, thank you for the Z coin, Den.
Too late. I
There you
already
go.
confirmed it twice.
Roll an attack.
Yeah, but I'm sure we all have to play our parts in getting out of here, and, you know, this could be Tato's part in getting us the hell out of here.
None shall see.
I'm just gonna roll a strength check so
Though
it's
my
an
battle
unarmed
cry
attack.
may give me away.
Give me one moment, guys.
Okay, I'm gonna grab myself a drink really quick. I'll be back in like 2 seconds.
5 hours later. Two hours later. 1 week later.
Seriously?
So
All
much
right.
later that the old narrator quit his job and I've come to replace him.
A rock falls on Azeroth and he gets crushed and dies.
So, new healer?
Yes, we'll need
Nope.
a new healer.
Hey, given that I have also died today, I offer to make the new healer.
Okay,
break.
I've also decided going fighter was the way to be from the get-go, so...
Anyways, Tato,
I dare you to make a shadow monk.
Aw, I wanted to have a flogger in one hand and an actual whip in the other. Oh well.
Tato.
Present.
Okay, what happened to Tato?
I'm about to describe that, damn it! As you punch the barrier, your hand goes through it. However, the portion that actually goes through it begins to age at a rapid pace.
I pull out! I pull out!
Not gonna say it. Not gonna say it.
Nope. Yeah, nope.
Your fist is withered. It is old and wrinkled.
Oh.
At least it's not as old as mine. Waves my skeleton hand.
Oh, now I'm gonna get arthritis.
Wait. So I'm seeing a common thread in this party. I'd like to create a public service announcement for it. I just want glowing purple letters flecked with gold. Don't touch strange shit.
Well, the rule of any healer is kind of like that, so you guys are kind of... I'm seriously kind of questioning my desire to join such heroes. Unless... Maybe dumb luck played a part in your...
Tato, you do notice a snoot-shaped recess in one of the barriers.
I gotta boop the barrier. I'm gonna boop the barrier.
Snoodle boop the barrier.
I snoodle boop the recess.
Why? I already
Because
said
some
don't.
resistances are futile, my friend.
Against better judgment.
Against my better judgment, I will do this. I'll take the risk.
If it's any consolation, I seriously question about joining you guys now. It's like I wonder. Well, okay, some of you make me wonder how you guys killed a. Oh, fuck, I forgot what you killed.
They killed a lot of things.
Well,
You'll have to be more
we've killed
specific.
a lich. We've killed
No,
a
before
giant killer wedding cake.
before I
We've
joined.
killed a hydra.
Before I joined.
Oh yeah, we killed a hydra. We killed.
A giant wedding cake.
Was it
Yeah.
a giant wedding cake? I thought it was like a Hydra thing. Oh man, I'm really blanking out.
We killed an entire clan of Darrow.
No, the one that made you famous in my town before I joined.
Which one?
God damn it. Like I said, I thought it was a giant Hydra.
There was
We
a
killed
hydra.
a hydra.
There was a hydra,
There was the
and-
Medusa. Although technically Zale killed her. Now technically Zale's weapon killed her. I mean, it kind of have freedom of thought.
Oh yeah, you summoned bees.
Oh well.
Yeah.
After gluing her to the horse.
You can't forget that. No.
Okay, you guys are really just making me question in general your exploits to this point. Even though you wonder how did we defeat a Lich King? How did we actually defeat that Lich King? I remember
It's
a lot
not
of
a
that.
lich king. It was a
sorry.
lich.
I'm
You
sorry.
happen
I'm
to
sorry.
be a king. And the answer to that is Shenzi. But actually,
Tato.
no, that's true for a lot of them. Shenzi killed the Lich. Shenzi's minions were the only reason we were able to kill the Hydra. Shenzi was the only reason we had the wedding cake to kill.
Hey!
Shenzi
Technically, it
and
was my
Fran-
idea.
Yes, but
Yeah,
without Shenzi,
he
we could
is
never
the one
have
who proposed. And we had to consume our marriage.
Oh yes,
Yeah.
that whole session.
I thought that was a myth. Oh my goodness! I can't believe you actually, guys. Never mind. I can't believe it happened.
Oh yeah,
I've been
we
with you for a
consummated
couple
our
of-
marriage. We had a nice. It was very tasty. Yeah, it was great.
Now, see, if I were playing a character who was here, I might recommend certain skill checks at this time.
Tato, as you push your snoot through the barrier
Into the recess.
into the recess, yes. Give me a dexterity check.
Estimation. Just shaking my head.
18.
You were able to keep your head still enough to push in without touching the barrier around. The one sealing off the door on the other end fizzles out, and the door opens.
I did it, guys!
Yay, Tato!
Wait,
Good
you
job.
Tato,
pull your nose out of the barrier before you speak.
Can only shake my head and say good job. For a moment there, I completely forgot we are a party of very dumb luck.
Emphasis on the word dumb. What?
Did you pull out your nose before you spoke?
I thought the barrier itself fizzled out too.
Not the
Never
one
said.
that your nose is in, just the one in front of the door.
Okay. Let's say that I do.
Okay. So, what do you do? There's an open door now.
Without
Go
hesitation,
through
I
the
run
door.
to the door.
Going through the door, you find a hallway lined with more alcoves holding various treasures. Tato, one in particular seems to almost call to you. It is a crystalline dagger.
Tato looks down at this dagger and turns his head at it. The only treasure here is Zale. And then he leaves it.
That's like the cutest thing you have ever said.
There is a single red eye. Just kind of speared on the tip of this dagger.
Oh.
Ow.
That ought to hurt. Yeah. Alright. Tato's gonna reach down and, without touching the dagger, pull the eye off.
There is a barrier in front of it.
Oh. Are there any other snoot-shaped recesses? Tato
No, that
looks
was an
around.
ethereal influence.
Oh, okay. You got me to snoodle boop a barrier.
Oh my goodness.
God.
We're gonna emphasize the dumb on that luck a little harder now. Dumb luck.
Dumb luck.
So we're
As
dealing with the
you're looking at this dagger, you aren't even aware of a new Zale standing beside you, silent and just looking at the dagger. He looks later in his years, but still strong. In his
Oh
hand,
god, give old man Zale.
he holds the crystalline dagger in a hand made of iron.
Is that my cue?
I'm sorry, I just imagine a
not
very
yet.
cranky old man who thinks he's always right.
The room kind of fades away from all of your view, and you find yourselves back in the throne room of the Raven Queen. Though you are aware that this is only a vision.
Yeah, largely by the lack of piercing gaze from she who sits above in eternal judgment.
You can see that from the elbow down, his arm was replaced with this iron creation. The dagger conveys a light, a faint glimmer of hope in this desolate fortress. Your vision swims a little as you see the Raven Queen sitting upon her throne. Her eyes shine with anger as Zale wordlessly twirls the dagger, and then throws it at the Raven Queen on her throne. It pierces...
I've got ball.
What?
Never mind, keep going. Sorry.
The dagger flies, and she holds up her hand in front of it, though her power isn't able to touch it, it seems. It pierces into her hand and seems to actually wound her.
Weakness sensed.
What that dagger? Jeez.
Untold numbers of ravens flock in from everywhere and swarm the dagger and Zale. The dagger is pulled out of the Raven Queen, and many numbers of ravens restrain Zale. You hear her voice, beautiful and powerful, ringing clear through the chamber. You think yourself released from me that easily? No. You will serve over and over and over. You belong to me, Zale.
This lady got entitlement issues.
Very much so.
A raven flies towards the dagger. You know it to be Rook, though you're not sure how. It flies over carrying the dagger in its claws somehow, and rams it into Zale's red eye. Before the vision dissipates, the dagger with the eye dropping to the floor in front of you, a tink like the ring of a bell echoing through the hall, before it too vanishes in smoke.
That's you.
What do you do?
So is the entire dagger covered by the barrier?
There's a barrier in front of the entire dagger, yes.
Oh. I kind of missed the first part of what actually we were in.
What?
What else of interest was in the room?
The dagger.
This
And the
is
eyeball
a-
on the dagger.
Okay.
This is a hallway full of treasures. There is
Oh, yeah, the
another
hallway-
door at the other end. This isn't the first chamber.
Oh, okay. So
But
it's a
this-
hallway, like.
Particular dagger kind of called out to Tato in particular. Azeroth, we keep
Tato.
getting typing from your end.
Ah, my goodness.
Okay, so if the barrier ages the stuff that goes into it and it doesn't work on iron, then how about I move it out of the barrier with my weapon? So he'll take out his club and just nudge the blade over outside of the barrier. Or try to, you know.
As you put the club through the barrier, it ages. A club is made of wood, you know.
Yes.
It ages and withers away, turning to dust.
Elysian would sigh and take out his rapier, going very carefully to put the tip through the barrier to see if it has the same effects.
Are you sure you don't want to use your nose?
I'm pretty sure I don't want to snoodle boop the barrier.
The rapier begins to rust as you put it through.
Quickly pull it back.
Now you can give everyone tetanus with your hits.
Oh god.
Why?
Why?
The blade is definitely fragile now.
Tetanusy.
Going to have to get fixed back somewhere. I thought it said iron. Is the rapier made out of iron?
Yes. How do we break the barrier then? Tato will look around. I guess he'll look at the barrier itself.
Can I summon a skeleton?
Your necromantic powers do not function in this place.
Okay, well, what about my unseen servant?
You can try.
Well, I try. I summon
Hey,
my
one
unseen
sec.
servant, and he can lift up to 5?
Yes. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking too. Just gotta be fast.
The unseen
Yes.
servant reaches in, but does not seem able to lift the dagger or even budge it.
Oh.
Does it mean you requires a touch?
One of these Zales appears. This is the one dressed in the fine clothing who died atop the castle walls. He places a ethereal paw upon Elysian's shoulder. You can't really feel it, but it's the sentiment that matters. You held back. It must go all the way. A weapon must be sacrificed to retrieve a weapon. That holds the power of divinity. It can harm that which it is made from. And he vanishes.
Oh.
Uh,
Okay. Tato
So you
takes
just
out
need to use a magic weapon? Because I've got that stick of charming that can take its place.
Go hammer, go home.
Hey, that's my stick.
That's my stick.
Well, I'm not
In my
willing to
inventory, it was
sacrifice
given
my
to me.
rapier. That's kind of my main weapon.
my trident of endowment.
There's
No,
that too.
I do have something that would be perfect. Elysian would take out his magic elven shortbow he got way back when.
Way back in season 1.
Way back in season 1, after we had a partying nights of fun things. And with a quick motion, he'd shove it through the barrier and use it to pull out the dagger.
give me a strength check.
That's
Oh,
a
for
heavy
fuck's-
eyeball.
I will take the opportunity to remind you you have lucky points.
Use it.
I'm using one.
Yeah.
I do not want to sacrifice my bow just to fail.
Wait.
Especially my
wait.
best bow.
Wait. I think I have something to help.
Well, then re-roll.
Oh.
Wait.
Oh,
wait.
that's what it is. What?
I think I have something that can help. Ooh. No, wait. There we go. I could use this. One of my enhanced abilities.
Shouldn't have used.
What? I said I can. I didn't say I...
Okay, I see now.
Do you know what it is, or think it's
I don't know exactly which one it is, but I think I have an idea.
I put it there.
I can't open it. It
Well.
says unable to create window without data source.
What?
It's
Probably
weird.
means you don't have the spells loaded on your local computer.
Yeah, I probably don't.
Oh,
Okay, this is a spell. You touch a creature and bestow upon it a magical enhancement. Which effect are you going with?
the bull strength. The strength roll. Oh wait, no, fuck. That's only strength check. Yeah, okay. Give us an advantage on strength checks. Yeah,
Okay.
and it also lets you carry double the amount of things. So if you ever want to become a pack mule for a day, hey. But that's
Alright. Well, you may roll another roll for the advantage. I said
Yes!
just one,
Oh,
because you had already rolled once. So I'm going to have to cancel that one out.
Wah,
Damn it.
wah.
oh come on.
Even
So
with
now you
advantage,
may
but-
use the lucky point to roll again.
Okay. There we go.
And even with advantages, you
Are you satisfied with that result?
Yes.
gets advantages on it. So that counts.
He does not get advantage on the lucky roll.
Oh, well then darn. That point.
You push the bow in, hooking it over. You can see that. You can see magical sparkles as the bow's magic seems to struggle against the barrier. You are able to hook the bow around the dagger and pull it out of the barrier with the eye.
After it gets pulled out, Elysian breathes deeply a sigh of relief.
The bow snaps. Its energy depleted, and it is now a useless piece of wood.
Technically,
Well,
2 pieces of wood.
Isn't it technically
Connected by a
useless
string.
elven wood? But isn't elven wood still worth
That
its
checks.
merit?
Hey, Elysian would sigh and put the bow back.
Do mark that it is not really a bow on your sheet.
Oh. Elven wood is worth money, though. I mean,
For the record, if you had just used your rapier and kept going instead of pulling it out, you could have sacrificed just your rapier. It didn't need to be a magic weapon.
Yeah.
To make him feel bad.
Well, yeah, of course I have to
Hey,
make him feel
you
bad.
You wanna know what the worst part is? I had a perfectly fine, still normal bow I could have used instead then.
And also, your rapier will not last for long.
I know. I'll need to obtain another one. Or get this one repaired. Probably a
You
ladder.
might ask
Kato snatches the
if
dagger.
the use of a to switch out which bow you used.
Hmm?
You might inquire of the mighty god Zim if he would allow the use of a collective luck point to trade out which bow you used to grab the
As
item.
much as I want to use the other luck point, I think I also want to save it. Unless we all get a luck point.
Also, I would not allow that.
Also,
Yeah.
Tato snatches up the dagger.
Go ahead and add crystalline dagger to your inventory, Tato.
Oh, I wasn't gonna add it to my inventory just yet. I was gonna pull off the eye first.
Da, 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 da.
Alright.
I grasp my hand around the eye, and I try to yank it out.
The eye remains stuck to the crystalline dagger.
Oh, come on. Okay, gotta put in just a little more. Can I roll a strength check?
Don't force.
It's not gonna work. At least not for now.
I'll just hold on to this for now. Anyone object?
Nope.
Okay. I'll add it to my inventory now.
There are many other treasures in this room if you wish to attempt to obtain them, or you can continue on through the next door.
I don't care about treasure. I'm going. Whatever you guys do, I'm going.
I care about the treasure, but I'm not willing to sacrifice anything else to get another piece.
This seems like the only important thing.
Especially when I'm not guaranteed to immediately get a replacement for my bow.
Well,
Alright, I wrote in my character sheet crystalline dagger with eyeball.
I mean,
What's its weight?
Weight is 40 pounds.
Heavy.
the heavy
Very
dagger.
heavy.
This is the heaviest dagger. This could be used as a weapon against something really big.
Kind of like a goddess. And I want you to imagine Zale throwing that.
You were strong, Zale.
Sound like he's not a badass?
No, you were magically empowered, actually. So,
No, he was mechanically empowered.
oh well then.
Magically, mechanically, whatever. It was badass. I'll admit it.
Yeah. That I have an arm now. I'm tempted to go for more treasures, but I really can't offer anything besides my main weapon and my crossbow. That does me no good.
Well, we have the
Tato
dagger
goes to the
now, and the
dwarf.
barrier hasn't gone down, so I think we're still missing something.
No, the
Maybe we gotta
barrier, there was never a barrier before
Oh.
the next door.
Oh, okay.
Only
Next room,
sealing off the different alcoves.
Next room then?
Yep, next room.
Yep.
We got the only treasure that mattered.
Elysian, give me a perception check.
Ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba.
Oh god.
My Pokemon. Yeah.
Yes, what can I do for you? A mystical force springs out as you step through the door.
Whoa.
You notice on the ground that you stepped into an arcane circle that had been mostly hidden on the floor. Give me a dexterity saving throw, Elysian.
Ow! It's my best stat. And I got that.
Hey.
And you're a treasure hunter. You're supposed to know about this shit.
I am.
And you're also supposed to be keeping an eye out. But
Yeah.
you have to
Surprised
say,
you don't-
you have to specify.
Also,
Yeah.
don't you have special abilities that are made for treasure hunting? I mean,
Though
like
my battle cry may give me away.
something that enhances your stats or something so that way you do it better.
Everything but spine things, yes.
God damn it.
Like I can disarm the traps, I can steal from people, I can move all around. The one thing I don't actually have a thing for is perception.
God, you're like, I don't even know how to describe this perfectly. Okay.
Anir is saving you, wanting you to re-roll the dex save.
Oh, and I know you were built
Thank
for
you,
steps.
Anir.
You were
What-
built for steps 2 through 15, but not
There we
step.
go.
What actually happens for Anir to save Zale here? I mean, not Zale, to save Turlix here.
These
Elysian.
ones I
Elysian,
kind
thank you.
of just assume that it's just, a reroll. But yes, Blue Cat appears and slaps Elysian on the nose with another sticker, which conveniently is in the shape of a bullseye.
Yay! Another sticker. Now I can add it to my sarcastic collection of sarcastic stickers.
Sarcastic sticker.
Yay!
You drop to your knees instinctively as the magical bolt sails over your head.
How much damage was that done?
It was aiming for your head. Let's just say it was aiming for your head at the start. Okay.
No, seriously though, how much damage would it have done?
You can always step on it again and find out.
Yeah.
No,
Yeah.
because I'm at
Okay.
27 of 33, which means
I would
any
like to-
next hint
By
that's
the way-
powerful enough might actually kill me.
I'm gonna remind you. that
These
these are very nice.
hallways are not that large, so do go into the party sheet and update your marching information for here.
Where was the party sheet again? I forgot.
Do keep in mind, guys, that we have a nice gym here. So this said, okay, you step on the panel again to test this.
How did I access the party sheet again? I forgot.
It's the 3 figures up top, and then there's a tab on the right side.
Oh, okay.
I'm putting Zale in the bad kitty corner at the bottom left.
Okay.
Can we get
I
some
don't
Shreks
have a
in here?
marching order here.
Why do we need
That's-
Shreks in here?
It is. Go to the party sheet, and on
Oh,
the right side you see
order.
inventory
Okay.
and order. Yeah.
Order.
Because I
Oh,
want-
here we go. There we
No
go.
Shreks.
I don't think you
Except
wanna-
Elysian, you should be in front.
Yeah, I should. Where's front? Here or here?
The top.
with the dog.
Okay.
I would say Shenzi in the middle, because she's probably the most important one for whatever we're doing here.
Well,
Not that I can actually
Shenzi's
say
been towards the
anything,
front
but-
this whole time.
Okay, so the hallway is wide enough that you could go down side by side.
I think he means like all 4 of us. Like,
Oh, sure. That way one little rolling log trap can wipe you all out in one shot.
Like that.
why do I have to be in front of Tato?
That's just showing
I can
it's
be in front of you, I
2
don't
spaces
care.
wide.
No,
Sometimes
it
it's
doesn't matter.
wider, other
There you go.
times it's shorter. Shenzi,
go,
you
we
said
switched.
you would be near the front.
Yeah, like I was probably side by side with Elysian that whole time, hence holding his paw when I had to recount the memory and got scared.
Then that would probably be the formation. In which case,
So I bring-
Tato, give me a dex save.
Why do I have to be the one bringing up the rear?
Do recall your particular race, my friend, and ask if
That
anybody really
one.
wants to be behind you.
Hey.
I rolled.
If I let one loose first and foremost, and any one of you stink just as
Hey,
badly.
Tato, you
except
do
mine will
have
get worse.
one more. You do have another lucky point if you'd like to use it.
Please use that
Not to
many
mention,
sauces.
I mean, it's still an add 1, but do remember it's a dex save, not a check.
Oh yeah, you're right. Whoops.
But I'm keeping that at
Dex
1. Unless you do
Because
lucky.
you've been warned again and again and again.
Yeah, I know. I made the same mistake. Whatever.
You shall
I'll
see
take
me.
the lucky point.
Though my battle cry may
Or
give me
we've
away.
I
got-
still rolled a nat one.
Now all we
That
need
is two,
one
by
more
the
nat
way.
run. One.
She rolled the nat one twice, actually.
I rolled a nat one twice.
Oh yeah,
Obviously.
it's 3 times more than it.
Okay, dice don't want me to die. What happened?
A short, orange-furred creature that somewhat resembles an otter, though it has two tails and a
Though my battle
yellow,
cry may give me away.
a puffy yellow thing around its neck, appears before you and slaps a sticker onto your knee, Tato. Weasels is letting you go again.
Does the
One.
sticker say?
One.
Oh yeah, I'm hoping I get a 1 again. That would be great. I got 2 ones.
I was gonna say, that's a pair of ones.
It's a pair of ones.
At least it's ones like you wanted.
Yep.
Tato, you are able to dodge out of the way. Also,
Oh,
Buizels,
no.
I will accept both of your influences so the party will still have another lucky point. So, Azeroth,
Fun.
I require a dexterity
what's it?
saving throw.
Oh, great. The only thing I have is 0 in. And I rolled quickly.
Beautiful roll. Very good.
The bolt flies past Azeroth, well, rather where his head used to be a moment before, slamming into the wall above the door on the far end of the hallway. A massive explosion occurring, and the portion of the wall just no longer exists.
Oh, yeah, if that had hit any of us, it would have exploded. And we would have all died. Aren't you happy I rolled a good 17? Aren't you happy I'm good at dodging?
So, shall you continue on?
Sure.
Elysian, this is my final reminder to you to specify that you are looking for traps.
Yeah, I was planning on doing that from now on.
Okay.
So if we're actually going to continue now, having nearly gotten his face blasted off for the umpteenth time, he'd actually be very carefully making his way across the room, slow, steady steps as he pays close attention to faint markings that could possibly be in the room.
Wow,
Give
no
me
wonder
an
you got
inv-
that huge mark on your face.
This mark from the face was actually a not a trap that tried to kill me for the umpteenth time. It was actually
His
from a really
grandson.
large
I didn't
beast
ask
that was
and I didn't
attacking
care.
my grandson.
Oh, I'm sure your
That
grandson was
beast
horrified.
being a hellhound. Because why not?
The vault splits here. The next chamber has a short hallway, no alcoves here, before you come to a larger circular chamber, which leads off in 8 different directions, including the one you came from. Zale?
You catch sight of a dark green cloak and a hint of soft grey fur turning around one of the passages.
Old man, wait up.
Elysian would point to the passage he saw, and carefully make his way over there.
Give me an investigation check, Elysian.
Yeah, investigation, the thing I am actually good at.
That is what you use when you're actually looking for traps. Also, you should roll it in the tower from now on. Just
Oh,
an
okay.
FYI. But since you did roll it there, are you going to keep the roll or no? You do have one more lucky point.
I'm not going to waste a lucky point on this. I'm going to save it for something bigger. He says as he ends up not using it.
You walk forward, Elysian leading the way. Tato, give me a dexterity saving throw, please.
9.
The floor underneath you opens up. Underneath both you and Nim. Nim is able to jump back quickly. But unfortunately, you just kind of keep walking and not really realizing that there's no floor there anymore. Almost like a cartoon, you know, where you just...
That was how I just imagined it, too.
It just kind of going to take another step, looking down, and for a brief second you realize, oh. In fact, you hold up, you've got a little wooden sign in your hand saying, uh-oh, and then you,
Whoosh.
fall.
Oh.
You fall for a while.
Again, I throw down a rope.
How's that
Give
supposed
me
to help?
one moment because I always forget how fall damage works, so...
Usually it's 1d6 per 10 feet beyond the first 10, isn't it?
For
I think I
every
can roll
10
my
feet, it
athletics,
fell
too.
to a maximum of 20d6.
Whoo! No, thank you, sir. Can I use my heroic action to grab Tato before he falls?
You can use your heroic action, but it will require a strength check.
What she's surprisingly good at, historically speaking.
Wow.
I'm sorry, Tato.
It's fine. It was a good life. I pissed off a god.
Shenzi, give me a
Yes, fuck,
dexterity saving throw, please.
I personally pissed off a god.
Or an
that's
acrobatics check, whichever you prefer.
Oh, it'll be the same
teach
either
my
way.
hamster to suck eggs.
Woo!
Yay!
Nat 20!
Like I said, historic.
Tato, you fall for a good 20 feet
Tato.
into spikes at the bottom. Shenzi, you were able to... You reach out for him, but you just weren't fast enough to actually grab him. You teeter on the brink for a moment before righting yourself again. Tato, thanks to Anir, you hit the spikes, and then just like in the cartoons, you kind of just bounce right back up, holding your rump. Which is consequently bleeding. You do...
Yeah, he gives like the Tom from Tom and Jerry scream.
You do take 5 points of damage. But you're not impaled, so...
I need bandages for my butt!
However, somebody's gonna need to catch you.
I'll try.
Shenzi, you did
I'll
already...
help her.
I'm gonna say no to Shenzi, but Elysian or Azeroth can.
I vote Azeroth does it, and I help him.
You won't be able to really help each other on this.
Oh.
Well then, just roll your strength check to grab him if you wish. You do have inspiration that you can use to give yourself advantage. Correct. Strength check.
I honest to God thought that was a nat 1.
I actually did too, to be honest.
The way your luck's been going.
Shall see me. Though my
Refer to
battle
my
cry may
last
give me
comment
away.
in your convo, please.
The same orange otter shows up. His his yellow neck poof kind of inflated as he hovers there a little bit, using his twin tails as a somewhat propeller. I know Boo Easels can't actually do that kind of thing, but oh well. He kind of jumps across the chasm, slamming into Tato and knocking him over onto solid ground. Shenzi, we will take a intermission after this in just a moment.
Thank you, Tails from Sonic and Tails.
That hasn't stopped people from
Weasels
trying
will
to-
bop you on the snoot for 1 damage.
Thank you.
Angrily.
Also,
make sure
my
you're-
shield!
Do make sure you're adding your damage to your sheet.
Oh, I gotta add this damage. Okay. I didn't want to make the decision of like double adding damage.
You've taken a total of 6 damage. Why did you just reduce your HP to 0?
Hold on, I'm typing the actual value in.
Okay. No, your max does not get changed. Oh my god. What are you doing?
Oh wait.
You put it in wound.
So our frontline fighter should no longer be in the frontline, people. He literally has no help.
It's okay, I put it back.
Okay. Bop who for what comment?
For calling him Tails when he's actually up Weasels, the Pokemon.
Oh, yeah.
I mean,
Which I
so he does
which I assume was what he took the 1 damage for.
No, he took the damage for being dumb, but he does take another point of damage from the, and I added that, for the, calling him Tails. But on that note, we are going to take an intermission, everyone.
Thank you.
So we will be back in a few moments.
Are you still there?
Enjoy your stay. Well, it's about tree fitting.
Hello again, everyone. We are back. Sorry about the break, but I needed to grab some food. Shenzi had stuff to do. Everybody had stuff to
Don't
do.
be sorry about the break. We always get a break. It's not something to be sorry about.
I mean, bathrooms are a thing.
It's
That must
still
be attended to.
something that I prefer not to do, but anyways. We are back. Tato is safe on the ledge. And yeah, what do you do?
Yeah, I was saved by Tails from the Sonic and Tails franchise.
No.
It is possible to fall back into the pit. You are aware of that.
Yes.
I mean, influence can make that happen.
Yeah, I'm getting up.
And it is Sanic. It is Sanic OC Do Not Steal.
Cynic the bush pig. Get it right, scrub.
I guess we'd have to continue the corridor the Zale was at.
Yes.
Going
Alright.
careful again. So, hang back.
That would be an
still
investigation check in the tower.
Okay, investigation check. Tower.
Oh, goody.
All of us are just him.
Just him.
Okay.
Elysian, you are really bad at this.
I don't know, it's the dice today.
Now, if only we had a secondary rogue. Oh, wait.
Or anybody else with good perception and or investigation skills.
That's me. You want me to roll it? Want me to come over there? I go over with Elysian, and I do the investigation of traps with him.
No, we only need one check. As you proceed down the hallway, Elysian, you are focused on the ground, looking for traps. When you realize that the ground underneath your feet, and everyone, is actually green grass now.
What?
You stumble forward and fall onto the ground. A vision appearing in front of everyone. A wolf that looks very much like Elysian. In fact, you know it is him. A nice summer day outside of a small cottage in the frozen north. A portal opens and deposits Elysian on the ground outside of this cottage. There is a small puff of white fur sitting on the ground, playing in the snow and dirt. Despite being the frozen north, well, there's a nice little patch of nice green grass there. An elderly seal comes out of the cottage at the sound of the portal opening and sees Elysian there. You hear no voices, but you see her, despite her elderly frame, she picks up the wolf and drags him back into the cottage. The scene flash forwards while before you see Elysian and this elderly seal getting married under a nice arch. Continuing, and you see the little puffball, a bit bigger now, less of a puffball, more visibly a seal, nice young one, walking down the aisle with two rings on a pillow as he goes along. Going forward a few more years, Elysian, and you just know it's a young Tato. Out together practicing some various hunting skills. And then just as suddenly as he came, a portal opens. What do you mean cringe intensifying?
Yeah, what do you mean? This is super adorable.
Jeez.
I mean, I'm feeling it too.
I'm not. But that's probably more from the fact that I know it's tormenting you.
Yeah,
rather
you
than
massive,
me actually
you
finding.
sadist.
I am. I will buy people Super Hexagon. I am a sadist.
Also, if I'm born already, then my grandma's like already old, like at least in her 50s.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, he was saying an older seal lady, like not young, old.
Okay.
And yes, young Tato is absolutely adorable. He's just a
I
little...
have an image of Chibi Tato.
He is just a little ball of fluff. But anyways, just as soon as... What? Bad kitty jail. Really, Zale? I go in here looking for the chibi picture that Tato said he has, and see that.
Here you go.
Anyways.
I don't think the stream can't see it, but Zale's drawn a little
I'm
bad
putting it on
kid.
now.
Okay. That's why I burst out laughing. I'm not insane. I'm not Shenzi.
We can argue this later.
I will put up Tato's little image shortly. Give everybody a chance to see the bad kitty jail.
I don't know why I found that so funny.
Because it is.
Yeah.
Humor, all good humor, is based in fact.
So just as suddenly as Elysian appeared, another portal opens one day and takes him away. Gone into the dust. And there's little Tato in all of his adorable glory, including freckles.
Those aren't freckles.
Oh, little Tato.
Look at that. Still thick.
That's my vibers.
Then
Not
we go
whiskers.
Anyways,
yeah, that's
moving
true.
on.
Elysian would be kind of stunned now.
The image vanishes. Young Tato crying over the loss of his grandfather. Those suppressed memories coming back to Elysian of his days as Tato's grandfather, waking up in their yard with, well, rather in the cottage, with no memories and being cared for by Tato's grandmother before, they fell in love, and Elysian became Tato's, I guess, step-grandfather, technically.
Yeah, you had nothing to do with making me, okay?
Except he had everything to do with raising you.
I don't even remember you.
Well, you do now. Again, suppressed memories.
Yeah. Elysian just looks like he's a deer in headlights as the memories rush back to him.
It's like, so,
And the Raven Queen does like to collect memories. People whose memories she has collected, she does not leave the memory behind. She takes it.
So that implies that she took this memory from us.
Yes.
So,
Wow.
Obviously, you can't remember him. You're dead to the in response to you.
Zale, your god is an asshole.
I've been telling you this from the very start. What is my personal name for her? Raven bitch. Yeah, that's right. She is one. Like nobody listens to me. And it was there's a liar, they say. Nobody can trust what he says. Oh, fuck you.
Regain composure, he'd shake his head and look back. I guess I really am your grandpa.
I just don't care. Can we move on, please?
We should discuss this later, yes.
No.
Yeah, we've seen the memories, we're discussing it later, that's final.
You're not my dad,
Yeah,
Ahead
but
of
I'm your grandpa,
and
so
you're
I'm
definitely not my
intersection.
dad's dad.
A figure in a green cloak with a hint of scale mail peeking out from beneath waits impatiently before walking down the left fork.
Elysian, still heading the party with the investigation, would shake his head at Tato and then go to follow the green cloaked Zale. Still on the lookout for traps.
You proceed down ever deeper.
I hear phone.
Yes, I'm calling Ray to wake him up for work.
It's up.
He's got difficulty waking up on time for things, and he took extra hours at work, so... And yes, Necrowolf, you are entirely correct. Elysian can bend Tato over his knee and give him a good spanking.
Which, if
I
he
would like to
continues to
say-
deny this, I'm probably going to do to him.
I'm in my
Family
20s.
friendly. Family friendly.
It is family friendly. I am a
Can
grandpa
I spend points?
punishing my grandson. There's
I'm in my
nothing
20s.
weird about that.
Can
I'm
I
in my
spend-
20s, and you look like you're in your 20s,
I
too.
want to spend points for this, please and thank you.
You cannot spend points on your own session, unfortunately.
Which is why Z coins are fairly useless for me.
But you could always make a, pact with somebody from the Tuesday group. They spend stuff on your game, you spend stuff on their game. And you miss the S. It's coins.
Darn you.
You can
So-
also open the Donate Z Coins interface and go to Loyalty Points tab. It'll tell you right there.
You completely lost me. Congratulations. As I don't which know how they work.
So, anyways, moving on. You proceed down the hallway. There are... Necrowolf, you can get Z-Coins by donating to the channel, subscribing, becoming a patron. There are multiple ways to do so. You do also get Z-Coins with bits and just watching. Any of the streams. So anyways, proceeding down the hallway, you eventually come to another crossing. You are seeing more and more distant memories of various people. These halls are lined with those alcoves of treasures. Some are more actual treasures than others, such as like you've got some that are actual magical items, others that there's even one spot where it's a money pouch. Here and there, you'll catch a glimpse of a lost doll or some other precious item that somebody presumably lost at some point. And there's little snippets of music and dancing sometimes. You'll see wispy shapes form, and sometimes they might get into an argument between each other before disappearing again.
Ghost.
Memories, rather. Zale, if you would.
Same figure, green cloak, scale mail. This time you catch a more significant sighting and see that this one actually has a two-handed sword strapped to its back. Turns down the corridor to the right.
Oh, is this
And
the
I go
Edgelord
running
phase?
after him.
Oh god, this must be the Edgelord's phase. Let's go.
This one's the Edgelord face?
I mean, come on.
I'm
Ain't
pretty
no
sure his whole
armor.
life is, let's be honest.
Okay, well, there has to be specific spikes in this. I mean, what are we gonna call this? The Neo Age Goth Loner version?
Still feel like you're describing him in general. I'm running after him.
Treasure
Yeah, but-
hunter, please catch your
What,
necromancer.
the last one was Old Man Edgelord.
Elysian would go grab Shenzi and pull her back.
I'm following. Yeah, unfortunately,
Elysium?
we can't run.
Mm-hmm.
Could I get another investigation check?
Or you don't have to give one. You can not give one. You like
True.
it.
Yeah, but if I not give one, that auto does whatever bad thing is going to happen.
Not necessarily. It's just if you get unlucky enough to step on the one thing that triggers it. You spot a thin line on the ground. A small little string strung between the hall.
Shenzi, stop! You're going to trip another trap.
Trip a trap.
He says as he reaches out to grab her and pull her back.
We have to hurry, though.
There's no point in hurrying if it kills us.
Also, he seems to be waiting for us around every corner, so rushing doesn't really do us a favor.
He'd step forward and point out the small wire on the ground. Step over this spot.
I step over at the spot and continue running towards Zale.
He'd motion for everybody else to step over too.
I roll my
Everyone
eyes
give me a
over.
dexterity saving throw, please.
Uh-oh.
Tower or
Save.
Just in the open.
Save.
yay!
The one person who I assume failed is admittedly the one who was most likely to for story reasons, so. Okay.
This is why we
Shenzi,
say
you
don't
are
learn.
not open to suggestion on this. You step forward and right onto the string.
Can I just say, you people have managed to set off every single trap on your way in here.
Estimation. Well, I mean, first trap was somebody not paying attention. The second trap was someone ignoring the warning. I mean, and let me be technical. When was the last time we hadn't stepped on the trap that was obviously there in front of us because we were rushing for someone?
Shenzi,
Yes.
you hear a soft snap of a string. Give me an Arcana check. You feel a strange draining on yourself. Everyone else, you are seeing a purple mist flow away from her.
Why is my favorite color always trying to kill me?
Well, actually, it was
Because
helping you
Arcane
with
is
the. It was helping you with the lich.
Arcane is always purple, I always assumed, so.
Sometimes it's blue.
I try to push Shenzi out of the way of the purple mist.
The mist is leaving her.
Oh, okay.
Shenzi?
Misunderstood.
You have lost
Woof.
all of your magical ability. At least for the time being.
And that's why we don't run through the halls, children.
Ironically, running with scissors might have helped in this case.
So, continuing on, or what are you doing?
We've only got one way forward. Follow the Zale.
Yep.
At the next intersection, the figure of Zale appears somewhat longer, making a cautioning motion. Make haste, slowly. The Raven Queen's attention is off you for now. But falling into her traps will not aid you. This way.
That's the most polite way I've ever been told to not be a dumbass.
You do
By the
realize-
person who will most likely just outright call you dumbass.
You are not wrong.
Every time he comes back, he has potential to be a completely different person in personality.
I mean, given the chances that life would generate in this universe through a massive explosion, it has to happen eventually.
Proceeding down this last hall, you finally come to another door.
I'm going to investigate the door.
Go for it.
I do not trust this door.
I don't trust it either.
I don't trust anything in this.
Can I investigate?
I stand like 2 feet behind Elysian.
Only
Can I
2
roll
feet?
insight on the door?
Go for it. in the tower.
Okay.
The door is a magnificent golden, gold enameled ice. A
Ooh.
dark, pitch black kind of ice. The frame around it of a stone. You can't quite recognize what kind of stone. He is still not answering or waking up.
That's not good. Hope he wakes
Elysian?
up soon. Yes.
You notice several. So you notice several things out of place on this door. There's a small string down at the bottom. There's a crevice in front of it. On the door itself, you gaze into it and faintly notice an arcane symbol of some sort.
The door is rigged with an arcane trap, and possibly physical trap.
Tato?
Shenzi, would you...
Yes.
Gazing into the ice of the door to try and determine what its motive is, you see a faint reflection of yourself in the ice. It just kind of looks back at you. And you just feel this strange insight into yourself, your very being.
Should I say something? I'm confused.
I'm pausing
Or is
for
there-
dramatic effect.
Oh, okay.
Good job, you
You-
ruined it.
Your wisdom increases by 1 point. Permanently.
Oh, wow. Cool. Thank you.
However, you are not able to respond to anybody or do anything until the door is opened.
So I'm just stuck here staring at the door.
Yes.
Shenzi.
Shenzi has lost her magic.
Oh.
What a perfectly placed trap. Do the perfectly right thing that it goddamn someone.
I'm going to attempt it. Just stay back then. He-
I will try to do the arcane check, but do I like just not do it with my bonuses, or what do I do?
You will have to
But
make it
what-
with disadvantage.
Let me disarm the physical part first. Slave hand, right?
That is correct.
Tower open.
Power, of course. Shenzi, you're just not able to tap into the mystical and arcane energies present all around right now.
Do you know what? I just don't think there are any right now, so...
Elysian,
Yes.
you're able to detach the string with some difficulty, but you are able to detach it so it does not trip.
Okay, that's one part down. The problem is that there's a very visible arcane. Well, I'm sorry.
There are at
very,
least 3 traps on this door.
and I know of 2.
You know of all 3.
Actually, oh yeah, the
or
crevice.
at least 3, rather.
The crevice. I could probably deal with the crevice. I can't deal with the arcane. I need help with that.
I don't get in the archive.
Can't you disarm magic traps as a rogue, or is that at a higher level?
I've never tried to disarm magic traps. I always assumed that was the domain of mages and wizards and
Rogues
warlocks.
are special little suits of fun.
Yeah, rogues can do the magic
I'd
traps,
like
really.
to... I will give you guys a hint. Actually, no. Zale will.
I will.
Look into that.
Can Zale have a hint at the hint?
I'm typing it to you now.
It's just because I've never done magical traps as a rogue. I
I'm
always left that
checking
to them.
now. It might be unique to Arcane Trickster.
I'm not an arcane trickster, I believe. Am I? No. Don't think I picked arcane.
The Zale you have been following appears next to Tato, and you will notice as he does so that this one actually has, what's that word? Musculature. Not the scrawny-armed pipsqueak of a rogue you're used to. He points to Zale's personage and tells him the blade holds the key. And then vanishes.
But Tato's not able to respond to anyone or do anything other than stare at the door.
Yes.
Did anybody else hear what Zale said?
Was he
Everybody would
talking
have
to
heard.
Tato?
I thought
No, he was pointing to Tato.
Oh, okay. I thought he was talking to Tato. My bad.
Why would any Zale talk to you?
Yeah,
Ugh.
Fair point.
Okay.
case in point.
I'm going to go disarm that crevice then. Or at least Actually, no, I'm going to investigate that crevice a bit more.
Alright, roll.
You would.
Jeez. A family stream.
Yeah, a family stream.
Yeah.
Don't
I don't know
teach
what you're
my
talking about.
youngster to suck eggs.
You go suck eggs. I'll teach your grandma to suck eggs.
Shenzi,
Uh-oh.
you hear a sound behind you. A little skittering sound. Coming
Uh-oh.
down the hall towards you.
I panic.
You're not gonna turn around or anything?
I turn around in panic.
It's the tree.
You see a little blue cat. An anthro one. Basically, if you've seen Monster Hunter, it looks just like one of the palicos. He's running down carrying a rather large glass bottle, about the size of his head, full of the purple mist that had left you earlier. Yes, of course, Palico form, Manir. He runs up and offers up the bottle. I gathered your magical energy, Meowster!
Meowster. Oh, that's adorable.
The Palicos talk in nothing but cat puns. It's
Oh, it's
simultaneously
perfect
the
for
best.
you.
The best and worst feature of it all.
Yeah, basically.
I take it and I give a big hug to the kitty and I open the jar. Kitty, 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 kitty.
Your magical energy is restored, partially. About half of it. You are able to sense the mystical energies around again, though you do know that you are slightly hampered.
Okay, so I'm gonna try looking at the door again. Actually, wait, did we all hear Zale? I missed the answer to that.
Yes, everyone
Yes.
heard Zale.
Yeah.
Except for Tato.
We've got to get the crystal dagger and use it to unlock the door.
Yeah,
Although
I figured
have-
as much.
I have a feeling that might not disarm the traps.
Okay, well, I
Elysian.
will trust your trap
Yes.
instinct.
Sorry, Cupcake. Every time I say Cupcake, I'm always like, I feel like some kind of tavern maid, bartender that's just, one of the typical calls everybody hun and stuff. One of those biker kind of places.
Oh.
Yeah.
You're silly.
Anyways, moving back.
It's cute, though.
Sure, we'll use the word cute.
Elysian, the crevice opens into it is a pit trap that is set to trigger upon the door's opening. You
I
can't
was
figure out
right.
what exactly will trigger it, though.
Can I at least figure out the mechanism that makes it open?
You are not able to, no.
Oh. Oh. He'd back up. Do I know the actual size of the pit trap, or just...
It is about 3 feet wide and set right in front of the door.
Okay.
It's clear that it's meant that when somebody opens the door, it would open and drop them into the abyss below.
Okay. He'd go
Azeroth,
to
you
back
okay?
up.
I guess he lost internet. Anyways,
Yeah.
what were you saying? Sorry.
I was saying I was going to back up, tell Shenzi to disable the arcane trap.
I did my arcane roll while you guys were chatting.
Shenzi, this power is beyond what you can disable.
Well, I guess we're jumping the pit trap, guys.
I guess so. He'd go over to Tato and go to take the crystal dagger.
He can take it without a problem. Tato is like transfixed to the door. He's
then
been
go
finding
to
God throughout this.
Shenzi and Azeroth, give them both one piece of his hempen rope, tie the hempen rope around himself, then go over to the door and unlock it. Better hold on, guys.
Are you unlocking it?
Yes.
I said how.
Oh. I'm going to insert the dagger into the arcane ruin.
And how are you doing that? It is set inside of the door.
Put it on top of where the arcane is. Unless there's a... There's no obvious lock for the door, is there?
No, there is no door handle or anything.
So it must be the arcane ruin.
Rune.
Which means I'm just going to have to push the dagger on the door where the ruin is.
You keep saying ruin.
Ruin? Ruin. Ruin. Rune. Rune?
Rune.
Did I say it right?
Rune, yes.
Rune.
Nim will sigh and just tell you, just stab it in there.
Fine. He'd go to stab the dagger in then.
Despite the eyeball being attached to the tip, the blade and eyeball do slide into the door. There is a flash of white light as the door disappears. The dagger still glowing as the mystical energies, the divine ones, dissipate.
As soon as the door disappears, Elysian would try and step forward into the door frame.
Welcome back.
The floor did not fall off. Did not fall out.
I don't trust this floor. There's definitely a pit trap there. I know that much.
The room beyond is dark. There is a very faint light coming from the center. A small pedestal, above which floats the cage that you saw the Raven Queen holding before.
Around the cage paces the first Zale you saw. The one old but not ancient, black feathery wings sprouting majestically from his back. He turns to you as you enter. 7 lives and 7 eyes, the cage binds all.
Oh, that's not good.
That's like the only appropriate response here.
Oh my.
I think we found it. That would be Shenzi.
Is somebody gonna accompany me? I'm scared to go alone.
Nim, of course, is right next to Shenzi at all times, unless otherwise specified.
Shenzi is carefully checking her footing every time she goes to step her foot down.
Elysian would be checking his too as he goes along.
The chamber is pitch black. The Zale's still standing on the other side of the cage. The eye on the dagger shifts, looking towards the cage. An 8th eye. Tato, you are broken from your stupor.
Thank you. Guys, I saw everything!
Everything
Tell us
about yourself.
Later.
Everything about yourself, at least.
No.
And that is because you got a nat 20 on your insight roll.
Hey!
It was very insightful.
So what about this 8th eye?
The eighth
There's
eye
only-
is looking at the cage. It was originally looking towards the handle of the blade, but it just kind of rolls to look forward towards the cage.
Aside from how disgusting that is, I have a feeling that's Zale's contract.
I agree, and I go for it.
What have we learned about jumping into dangerous situations without thinking?
I have already specified exactly how I am walking so that I don't do that again.
Give me an investigation check in the tower, Shenzi.
That's what I was afraid of.
Lisi and you as well. You find no further traps or drop-offs or anything. The area is pitch black beyond the about 10-foot radius of light around the pedestal. As you approach, you hear rumbling above the chamber, though.
Uh-oh. I think we should hurry.
A light
Agreed.
begins to shine through the ice and the icy ceiling.
Is this light... Does it seem similar to the light before, or no?
You can't tell. It is still far off in the ice. It's basically the faintest shreds of light making it through the ice.
I would recommend grabbing the cage first.
Yep, on it. Grab the cage.
You're reaching out to the cage.
Yep.
You find a barrier, your hand aging and withering quickly as it passes through.
Not fun.
Ow.
Oh, this again.
How close is how far away is the barrier from the actual cage?
It is about 5 feet away.
Oh.
Who
Elysian
is
would slash
playing
at
what?
That's my brother playing an instrument.
Oh.
Elysian would slash at the barrier with the eye dagger.
The barrier pulls away from the dagger,
Oh.
becoming more visible.
He would do it again.
It does snap back as the dagger passes away.
He'd then go to take the dagger and slowly push it against the barrier, try and force the barrier back.
The barrier does buckle in a bit, keeping
Stab
away from the dagger.
He'd slowly try and make his way forward with it.
The barrier continues to pull away, getting closer and closer to the cage. Only a small enough pocket around you and the blade that it doesn't touch you.
He'd go slightly faster, wanting to get this over with before something bad happens, and he either ends up as a aged pile of bones, or something else happens. And try and
The light
grab
in the
that.
ceiling is growing brighter.
Try going to grab the cage. once he's pushed the barrier beyond it.
How?
Okay, so I can push the barrier right up to the place where the cage is, right?
Yes.
And I can't push past the cage. Or basically contain the cage within my little pocket of the barrier.
Not quite able to reach the cage yourself.
The figure of Zale with the giant's wings looks towards Shenzi. Only those with the strongest desire would have the strength to breach the field.
Well, then I immediately take the dagger and with all of my force and anger and exhaustion because I am so sick of being here, I push through.
Shenzi, you reach the cage.
I grab the cage. And I yell at everybody to run to a safe place for us to eat the lily.
You go to grab the cage. And it does not move.
Oh, what the hell now? This part just couldn't be easy, could it?
Open it.
7 lives were shown, 7 eyes were taken, the 8th was aberrant. Return to the others what was taken without cause.
The dagger in the cage.
Yeah, since you can't seem to take the eyeball off of it, I guess I am gonna have to stick a whole dagger in the cage.
It's useless for combat anyways. Drop it.
As you push the dagger towards the cage, as soon as the eye goes between the bars, it pops off and joins the others.
Is the dagger less weight?
The dagger is still the same weight.
It might be minor, a few ounces, maybe.
A few ounces, but at 40 pounds, it really isn't noticeable at all. The cage drops onto the pedestal. The eyes inside are still floating up and down, though.
Well, they can go ahead and float as creepily as they want. We've got the cage. We should probably go.
The ceiling above gives way as brilliant sunlight beams through. Shenzi, you feel the warm breeze on you again and smell the flowers. The Lady Kep speaks to you. Gather your friends and use the lily. I cannot maintain this opening for long.
Everybody huddle, cuddle, puddle, cuddle, puddle.
I huddle.
Cuddle puddle. Cuddle puddle.
Cuddle, huddle, puddle.
With a brief look of gratitude, the Zale backs away into the darkness and vanishes. You all manage to get together. Shenzi, you had been instructed to crush the lily when you were ready. Underneath the sunlight, you just get drawn up into it.
I bet
And
that
with
feels
that-
lovely.
I believe we are going to finish for this evening.
Okay.
I can be comfortable with that.
Yay.
You broke into a god's lair, stole one of her possessions. I think you're, you're kind of, you're settled.
Screwed!
Well, yeah,
This
you
is
could
one
be
of those
screwed.
moments where you think back on all of your life choices and go, how the hell did I get here?
Oh, I started questioning that when we were fighting the Hydra.
Well, everyone, thank you very much for joining us for this episode of Fists of Furry Dungeons and Dragons. I hope you guys enjoyed it. We will be back with more next week with whatever happens from here. Thank you all so much for joining. Do hit that follow button. Subscribe to the channel if you can. If you're watching this on YouTube, ring the notification bell and come join us live on Twitch. It's much more fun to be here live, trust me.
You get to interact and affect game.
Yes. I will be back on Sunday, probably with more Monster Hunter World. So do come back and come join me for some nice fun. In the meantime, those of you that are on Discord, you are welcome to come join me down in the common room. I'm going to do a little video night this evening with Rabbit, so if you guys want to come join, do consider it. In the meantime, though, thank you all so much for joining, and I bid you all adieu.
Bye!
No one else going to say goodnight?
And farewell from the aptly named
Night.
appearing in this episode.
Have a good night. Don't sell your souls to crazy death gods.
Can confirm, bad idea.